back, and we are heading to another zone here while we tackle the Guardian spec, which is the tank spec here for Druid. We'll go ahead and start going over some things while we're flying to the destination. And the Guardian takes on the form of a mighty bear to absorb damage and protect allies. The main abilities here are, we've got Mangle, melee attack with short cooldown that generates rage. And perfect timing there. Bear time! Bear time, yeah! Moonfire, bear time, yeah! Okay. Swipe melee attack that hits all nearby enemies. And Iron Fur ability that spends rage to massively increase your armor for a short time. Frenzied regeneration. Ability that spends rage to heal you for a portion of all damage you've taken recently. Sorry. Thrash melee attack that hits all nearby enemies, dealing initial damage and stacking damage over time. That's what I'm using here, right? Yeah. And then Barkskin ability reduces all damage taken for a short time. And pop right into the talents here. One I went with for level 1 is a passive. You know, I like my passives. Sharp Brambles protect you, absorbing and reflecting up to 1,000 damage from each attack. And while Barkskin is active, the Brambles also deal 1,000 nature damage to all nearby enemies every 1 second. So that's this ability here. So basically reduces all damage I take by 20%, prevents damage from delaying your spell casts. That part's not terribly important for bear form. But you can use it while frozen, incapacitated, feared, or asleep, and in all shapeshift forms. So let's actually come over. Yeah, see, so just using it, it's just doing a little bit of AoE damage there, while Barkskin is active. Next one here, we got Bristling Fur. Bristle your fur, causing you to generate rage based on damage taken for 8 seconds. And Blood Frenzy Thrash also generates 2 rage each time it deals damage. Does this thing here, so it does so it has a bleed effect, so that's where the rage would actually be useful instead of just like an extra 2, or rather more useful than just if it added, you know, like just a base 2 to the attack as a whole. Personally, I just like this one. I like having just it does a little damage to enemies attacking me, and it actually is reflecting that damage as well. And then when I turn on that other ability to reduce damage, it does a little bit more damage to enemies around me, even if they aren't attacking. Level 30, we've got the Guttural Roars. That's the other one that I chose here. Another passive. Me and my passives, the less I have to do as a tank, the better. Increases the radius of Stampeding Roar by 200%, radius of Incapacitating Roar by 100%, and reduces the cooldown of Stampeding Roar by 50%. So, no, that's Growl. Where are... I thought I had it right here. Yes. Here it is. So, Incapacitating Roar is the one where the radius is increased. So basically, radius is doubled on that one. So it incapacitates enemies for a few moments in fear. And then the other one is... Where'd it go? I thought I saw it a second ago. Is the Stampeding Roar. Have it on the bar? I don't have it on the bar. Yeah, I didn't have it on the bar. How about that? So, increases movement speed of all friendly players within 30 yards. Move faster! Alright, and then we've got Displacer Beast, so this is just like with the other specs. Teleports you up to 20 yards forward, activates cat form, and your movement speed is increased a bit as well. Wild Charge, just like with the other specs. Different movement ability based on what form you're in. Non-shapeshift, fly to an ally. Ally's position, bear form, charge an enemy, immobilizing them. Cat form, leap behind an enemy and daze them for a few seconds. Travel form, leaps forward 20 yards. And aquatic form increased movement speed for a few seconds. I like this one because the other things, that other one, especially the wild charge, is just so situational. And if I really want to move faster, I can just boop. Look how faster. So in most zones, I can, you can switch into like, flight mode super easy. So, all right. And then just like with the other specs, we've got the affinities here. So we've got the balance one, increases the range of all abilities by 5 yards, lets you use your Moonkin form, and some of the abilities from it. Feral affinity. So I didn't go with this one because I don't know. I feel like the tank is probably just as good. Like it would be weird to get like a damage spec on top of tanking because tanks usually do pretty decent damage, honestly. But you would get 15% increased movement speed, and energy regenerates faster while you're in cat form. And then the one I went with the healing one again. The 3% maximum health heal every 5 seconds is part of why it's appealing. That's pretty much it, really. And then if I do take a lot of damage, I can pop out and I have a few more healing options as a tank than for healing myself afterward. Especially because this one, I don't believe... Yeah, so this spec does not have that ability that heals you for 30% of your health, right away. I think that was actually... that was level 30, now that I think about it. So, but I have other ways to heal myself, like with Frenzied Regeneration. So, like it heals you for half the damage that you took over the last few seconds and whatnot. But we got Mighty Bash is the one that I went with for level 60. Invokes the Spirit of Ursoc, stuns all targets, or stuns the target, sorry, for 5 seconds, usable in shapeshift form. Oops, I killed him. Took that over the mass entanglement, which, as the name implies, you drop it on an enemy, and then it spreads to others nearby and just kind of roots them in place. And then the Typhoon, where it knocks things back. I figured, especially as tank form, I wouldn't want to be knocking things around and having to then chase them down, kinda. So that's why I didn't go with that one. Level 75, we've got the Mangle. Soul of the Forest, which affects Mangled, generates 5 more rage and deals 15% more damage. And let's see, Mangle, there it is. So normally just does 6 rage. And what else? And deals more damage against targets that are bleeding. So this just ups the damage overall a little bit with that one. Incarnation Guardian of Ursoc. Improved bear form, reduces cooldown on all melee damage abilities and growl to 1.5 seconds, and causes Mangle to hit up to 3 targets, whereas it normally only hits 1. Yeah. Last 30 seconds, you can switch in and out of the bear form while it's up. And then I went with the Galactic Guardian though, so it's passive. You know me and my passives. I say it every freaking time. If you haven't caught on yet, I like passive abilities when they work well. So damage that I deal has a 10% chance to trigger a free automatic Moonfire on that target. When this occurs, the next Moonfire you cast generates 15 rage. So that's something else that's kind of nice. So basically 10% chance to just trigger some extra damage, and then if I use Moonfire on my own shortly after that, I get some rage out of it. Whereas normally it doesn't generate rage, it's just something I can use in bear form to do a little extra damage with some, damage over time as well, tacked on. And on here, I'm not heading somewhere with enemies, am I? Aha! Earth Elementals! Take that heal, because I forgot to switch to bear form. Aha! Alright, so that's why I went with that one. Next up we got another passive ability. Every 6 seconds, gain a charge of Earth Warden, reduces the damage of the next auto attack you take by 30%. Earth Warden may have up to 3 charges. So for one, it's every 6 seconds. And if I pull like a bunch of stuff, it's going to eat up those charges really fast. It's only on auto attacks, not just attacks in general. but I still like this one. The other one we got here is Guardian of Elune. Mangolo increases the duration of your next Iron Fur or Mark of Ursul by 2 seconds, or the healing of your next Frenzied Regeneration by 20%. And then Survival of the Fittest reduces the cooldown of Bark Skin and Survival Instincts by 33%. So I would knock it down to 1 minute from 1.5 minutes. And this guy here reduces all damage you take by 50% for a few seconds. We cut by 1/3, so what? Drop it down to like roughly 2.5 minutes. That's kind of rounding a little. All right. Level 100 talents, we got Rend and Tear. While in bear form, Thrash also increases your damage dealt to the target and reduces your damage taken from the target by 2% per application of Thrash. Because Thrash, you can stack it up to 3 times on an enemy, the bleed effect with it. Lunar Beam summons a beam of lunar light at your location, deals some arcane damage and heals you. And the one that I went with here is a devastating devastating blow. Consumes 2 stacks of your Thrash on the target to deal some physical damage and reduces all damage you take by 8% for 20 seconds. I thought I actually changed it there. I think I would actually prefer the Lunar Beam because it gives me some free healing and doesn't use up. Yeah, I think I like Lunar Beam better. Let's see, where was Pulverize on the bar? Okay, had it all the way over there. Let's drop this. That's weird. Yeah, see, so it just drops on this location. So you gotta kind of stand still while it goes off. But that's gonna be it for El Bear form. Let's see, do we have a... No, we don't. Of course we don't. Never do. Just gonna come over here, we get some elementals beating up on a Highjaw Warden in the background while we wrap things up here. But thanks for watching, everybody. If you did like the video, don't forget to tick that like button, and don't forget to tick that subscribe button as well, so you get updates when new content drops on the channel there. And do remember that there is no IRL, just AFKs, and we'll see you next time that Alma plays World of Warcraft. Peace out.